When Yvonne Baldelli moved to Panama with her boyfriend Brian, she thought it was to start a new life together. But apparently, they weren't both on the same page. And when a return flight touched down in San Diego just a few months later, they weren't both on that either.
He flies back to the United States, and he eventually goes and gets his truck.
He has to pick up his truck.
That's right, from Yvonne's sister, Michelle Valenzuela.
Before Brian and Yvonne left, Brian parked a truck full of his things at Yvonne's sister's house. And if not for that pickup, who knows where this story might have gone.
So he has to face the sister.
He does. And she asks, Brian, where's my sister?
In fact, no one in Yvonne's family had heard from her in weeks, not since Yvonne found out Brian had been emailing a woman named Kristen Workhoven, the mother of a child Yvonne didn't even know Brian had.
It was unusual that when Brian came back that Michelle had not heard from her for over 3 weeks, and that concerned her.
But was everyone just making a big fuss over nothing?
What Brian told people was that she had found out on his computer that he had a daughter with Kristen Workhoven, and that she had become angry about this information and had decided to leave with another man to Costa Rica.
And as it turns out, just a few days after that big November 26th fight, Yvonne and Brian's Panamanian landlord received an email from Yvonne's address confirming as much. It read, "Hey Nene, Brian is a lying, cheating expletive, and I just couldn't stand dealing with it anymore. I'm in Costa Rica for a while with a guy I met at one of Brian's gigs when we first moved here. We've been talking off and on since then, and it's great to be spending time with someone who can be considered a gentleman."
Michelle is immediately suspicious.
In fact, Michelle told Brian, "I want to go to the police and report her missing."
And what did he say?
He said, "Why don't you just wait on that? Let me try to reach out to her, contact her by email, and see if she'll get in touch."
And not long after that, it seemed she did. In the email, Yvonne tells Michelle she's alive and well and should be home in a few weeks for a big family reunion. It was 2 days after Christmas when Michelle sent her reply. "So glad you responded. Didn't want to pry or bug, but I was worried. Wanted to make sure you weren't kidnapped and someone pretending it was you, haha." After that, the emails from Yvonne stopped, despite repeated, desperate pleas from her family to get in touch.
I said, whatever you need, we just need you to be okay, and we're not going to judge you. Just contact us. We just need to know you're okay.
And then came time for that big family reunion, the one Yvonne said she would try to attend.
January 12th comes around. The family gathering is there. Yvonne doesn't show up.
My heart drops.
So you knew that was sort of the last stop in all of this.
Right.
If she doesn't show up for this family gathering, then it's going to be all hands on deck.
Right.
Almost immediately, Yvonne's sister starts her own investigation.
She enlists the help of a tech-savvy relative who then starts to look at the origin of where the emails from Yvonne's account were coming from.
Michelle found out that the emails had come from
California.
Southern California.
Even more specific?
The emails were actually coming from where Brian Brimager was living.
And perhaps the most suspicious part of all, who Brian was living with. The woman he'd been emailing in Panama, the mother of his secret child, and most shocking to Yvonne's family, his brand new bride, Kristen Workhoven.
So Brian comes back to the United States, gets engaged to Kristen.
Just within days, yes.
Within days.
Within 2 days.
Within 2 days, he's engaged.
He's engaged, and he was married that same month.
Somebody forwarded me the registry from his new wife. I screamed. I screamed hysterically in the house. My husband got up, and I'm saying, look at this, look at this, look at this.
Were you enraged?
I was angry.
And Michelle went to the local sheriff's office and actually filed a missing persons report.
Yeah, actually she wasn't going to report her missing, she was going to report a murder because she had felt that that's what had happened, that she was murdered.
Coming up.
The local saw them going towards a boat dock That is the last time she was ever seen alive.
And
We get to a shallow area, and there were like these garbage bags that were torn, and there were bones all over.